We're doing a walkthrough right now of the Jochum room, and I'm going to tell you about some of the things that are in the physical space. So first off, right here, we've got a Doug Fleener. This is a light controller. It has an on and an off switch. It's a little bit more complicated than that. What's really going on here, this is loading scene 1 from our house light controller system, and this is loading scene 0 or off, scene 10. This has no information in it except for a little DMX information, I think on channel 510. It's a dummy signal so that it'll turn off correctly. So when you go on or off, this will turn the lights on. There's another switch I'll show you in a second. Let's look up and we'll discover a couple of other things. At the moment, there's only one screen. There's been talks for years. In fact, we already have done some of the work to put in 2 screens, one that will come down on the side and one that will cover part of the corner of the stage so you can see 2 separate options. There's already some electricity that runs to those things, but there's a screen right there, and I'll show you where the controller is when we do a tour of the tech booth. Now, on the front of the stage, just so you understand where we're at, these are front washes, and so they're carrying a copy of the main mix into the signal. Up above our heads directly, and it might be easier to see if you tip it a little bit, there's a little line array. That's kind of our center main. And then on the sides, you're going to see there's one speaker on each side. The Jochum room has a different configuration for stereo built into the board right now in the processor. Instead of being left and right, it's center and out. So when you pan something, if you pan it all the way to one side, it'll go to the center. And if you go to the other side, it'll be all the way to the outside. Just be aware of that. I think they're still in the hallway. They're doing a show here pretty soon. I just want to show you what the subwoofers look like. These are the subwoofers. They are actually lighter than they look like they are. They're on some wheels. There used to be straps that contain these things. You can see like the little bit, I don't know where those are. That kind of was before my time here, and they're probably backstage or have disappeared. This is just a speak-on connector. You pull and you twist. And you can hook this up to the subwoofer outputs, and it will process things. You could also take one of those up to the Longhorn room, which I talked about in another video. That speaker right there is for the Lutheran West intercom system. Now, we'll talk about lights in a different video, but you can see that there's some stair lights on here. We're going to keep going back, and I'm just going to point out stuff in the room. You can see a winch right here that has some light controls. So when we talk about lighting in the winch, that's where it is. There's also some light positions on the side there, and where the speakers are hanging, that's the catwalk, and there's a bunch of lights up in there. There's some partway through back in the house as well. And you'll notice if you're real keen, you might have noticed a microphone right here pointing at the stage. And if you're super, super keen, and if Elliot, if you get the right angle, you might see a little bit of a mic hanging down that points at the audience. Those are on the Dante network, and they're controlled by a box that sits up in the front. There's no physical controls on it. You have to do it via an interface. It's a Shure thing. Now, coming back here, you're going to see a projector in the center of the room. I don't know if that'll be here when this video's done or not, but that's what currently feeds our house. And moving back in the back, right above our heads, there's some speakers here. That's a center wash, like a delayed fill. And then further back, there's a rear delay where there's some other speakers. And those are all controlled. They're all carrying the main house feed. On this side of the house, we have another wall switch and an outlet. And other than that, everything really is happening from the tech booth. If you look over on the side here, you'll see some antennas that are sticking out of the wall pointing to the stage. That's for picking up the wireless mics. I don't know if I'll get that in the tech booth video. And I'll tell you what, why don't we take a look at some of the ports that are on the outside over here just so you understand what those are. So we're going to try to avoid any costumey things or cookies. There's some cookies. Man, they're so tempting. Watch out for us here. And let's talk about this feed in particular. This right here, it says Chapel Gym Feed. All this is an SDI. It's an SDI that passes all the way through to the rock gym, and you can use that to go either direction. It's all about what you have on the other end of it. So if you wanted to send a video feed from this room over to the other room, as long as you have an input coming from there out, you would be good. So that's the house in here. We'll be doing a stage video and a downstairs video walkthrough as well. And then I'm also going to talk you through the tech booth in a different video. So look for those in the playlist.